up, guys? Welcome to my video. I'm Parker Miller, Bug, and today we're doing what if Poland made an empire? From the one that they used to have, but was destroyed by Russia, Prussia, and Austria. And so let's get right into this. And so thank you guys so much for 220 subscribers. It means the world to me. And now Poland's first target, after looking around a bit, would be Lithuania, after they declined to remake the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, which Poland will do by force. But there is some people within the Lithuanian government that do want to, and they actually make an uprising to unite with Poland, in which is recognized by Poland, so they become red, dark red, and but the remainder of this territory does remain loyal to the Lithuanian government. So nearly 300,000 Polish troops crossed through that border and would launch an invasion, quickly capturing the Lithuanian capital, as the rebels would also make swift work of the Lithuanian government. Sorry for my stuttering. It's I've always had my entire life. And so ultimately, Lithuania is no more of a country and is entirely annexed, and the rebel government is now a joint part of the new Polish-Lithuanian government. The new Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, which is called the Polish-Lithuanian Republic, as they don't have a king, but they are a democratic republic. But they do have like a king and stuff once more, but they are basically a republic. Later on, they do change the name to the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth again, but for now, they're the Polish-Lithuanian Republic. And now, once more, a new stronger Poland, which is now Poland-Lithuania, which I'll refer to through the remainder of this video, would surprisingly, since basically the entire Russian army, since a lot of the Russian army is fighting in Ukraine, Kaliningrad is basically really undefended, with only a few dozen troops there, and a few dozen aircraft, but its biggest source is the Russian Black Sea Fleet. That's not the Black Sea. Russian Baltic Sea Fleet. But the Polish-Lithuanian Navy is basically as strong or stronger than the Russian Baltic Sea Fleet. I gotta stop saying Baltic Sea Fleet. So they launch an invasion, which this shocks the world. What's this? This is a attack on Russia, so Belarus joins in, and Ukraine is just gonna be colored in yellow since so with that Russia and Belarus are now fighting Ukraine and Poland, Lithuania. Ukraine and Poland, Lithuania are not on the same team, but they are fighting the same enemy. So they're basically fighting together, but they're fighting the same enemy. So they are allowing each other to use their bases and stuff in grants for military operations. And so, with really no troops in with very few troops in Kaliningrad, the Russian Black Baltic Sea Fleet is they do a is destroyed after a devastating battle against Poland and Lithuania, against the Polish-Lithuanian fleet, and so that basically leaves them without their vital support, and so after a stunning bombing raid, they in only a matter of 5 days, Kaliningrad is fully occupied by Polish-Lithuanian troops. As then a massive land invasion into Belarus happens. It's very successful as the Belarusian army is um has very low morale and is very under equipped. As this basically just leads to the collapse of the Russian army. The Donbass region is invaded, as also down here by the Ukrainian army. Um, Ukraine is ultimately able to cut it in half, cut the Russian army in half as they continue down the coast, and basically are just destroying the Russian army. They take back all the Donbass, and but Russia continues to hold on to Crimea, but even that's not gonna work. As ultimately Ukraine is fully able to take back all its land, and Putin, who is Russia is forced to make a peace treaty with Ukraine, as it has to retreat out of all lands, and they basically now just leave Ukraine alone and just let it do its own thing, which is just what the Ukrainian government want, as Ukraine goes into a peace and neutrality, but does continue to increase its military in case of another Russian invasion, which is very unlikely, as the Russian government, along with the Belarusian government, is literally doing everything they have against Poland and Lithuania, but it's not enough. As ultimately, Poland and Lithuania is ultimately able to capture Minsk in a pretty quick battle, only lasting 3 days, and as it ends in Polish-Lithuanian victory. And Lukashenko's Belarusian government collapses as it basically they lost everything, only leading to this part right here, which is now under Russian occupation. Russia is actually able to launch a counteroffensive, pushing the Polish-Lithuanians out of their territory and into Belarusian territory, but basically, the Russian government can really no longer keep this, as they're basically out of money at this point, and troops are deserting at one of the fastest rates in human history. So and morale is long gone. So now a peace treaty is signed between the three nations, and it's very good for Poland and Lithuania. Kaliningrad is entirely annexed, which is devastating for the Russian government, as also a decent chunk of Belarus is also ceded to Poland and Lithuania. Not the entire thing, but a decent chunk of the western half is. And Russia has to pay a lot of war reparations along with Belarus. Um, but Belarus ultimately is no longer a country no more. And so it's based now it's just Russia paying war reparations, as Belarus was occupied by the Russian government. As a sign that they had won, they turned it into like a thing where they say like we won a war, but basically they're annexing just a country that can really no longer exist. As tensions between Russia and Poland, Lithuania, who are now the two biggest powers in Europe, along with new upcoming Ukraine. Tensions between the two nations are still high, but Putin's government does look like to be on its way out, so that does mean good things for Poland, hopefully in the future, and Ukraine and all, basically the world. Also, I'm just gonna check to see if I'm filming. Yes, I am. And so Poland, Lithuania, which is basically with a declining Russia and a growing Ukraine, which they're basically friends with, basically an ally at this point. Poland, Lithuania has now officially changed its name from the Polish Lithuanian Republic to the Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth once more, as wanting to basically restore the entire thing. They go after Slovakia, Estonia, and Latvia at the same exact time. The invasion of Latvia goes first, as they don't want to be slogged down in the mountains of Slovakia. But ultimately they are stopped right here due to a great defense by Slovakia and a very mountainous region. But as there was basically no defenders up here, they were quickly able to dash in and capture all these areas. And so, with them bogged down between the Slovakian and with the Slovakian military, Poland, Lithuania, using its remaining personnel, invades, launches a mass assault along eastern Latvia, cutting it off from Russia, who is supplying it. Riga is now put under siege, as a thrust from Poland, Lithuania cuts off the city from collapsing Latvian forces, who escape to like Sweden and Estonia. But there's not really no, but really most, if you're in Sweden, you're basically safe. But if you're in Estonia, you're not really safe, as troops go for the land border, as they also land on these islands, capture both of them. They're cut off from over here, as the Estonian government would, and its citizens and military would begin to evacuate en masse to Finland or Russia. But to the two countries, this does leave 500,000 people to evacuate, which is good, as they want to carry on Estonia and hopefully try to take back the country. Riga, after a long defense, does ultimately fall. The capital of Estonia, the entire capital is evacuated on the last boats to Finland, and they just give it up without a fight. But there's basically 0 residents in the capital and 500,000 less people in total out of Estonia, which is a big number for a country that only has a bit over 1 million people living there. So like half the people, a little under half the people left. So Um, big loss to Poland and Lithuania in terms of population, but it is good for those people who get to escape the war-torn country into. I mean, the people that fled into Russia ultimately go up into Finland, as doing this was very risky. So they just go to that. And they escape into a nice, wealthy, safe, happy, um, well-defended country of Finland. Slovakia, on the other hand, the country has been holding off, but slowly but surely, Polish-Lithuanian forces are slowly getting the upper hand as they do have more reserves and they are just more better equipped than the Slovakian military. And ultimately, sadly, Slovakia does fall entirely to Poland, Lithuania after a desperate defense, though. And entire annexation of all three countries does happen, which now leaves Poland, Lithuania the unchallenged champion of Eastern Europe, as basically at this point the Putin regime has is barely clinging on to grasp as the civil war in Russia is nearing its end, as pro-Putin forces who were very little from the beginning have at this point lost Moscow and are really just holding on down here in the south and right here in Romania and up here in this peninsula and like over here too. But besides that, a new fully democratic regime supported by United States and all democratic countries are supplying this nation. As while Poland Lithuania has actually never committed a crime or war crime against humans or in humanity, which is very trusted among they're a very trusted nation, but among the people of Europe. At this point, Poland officially declares that it is no longer going to expand, and that is accomplished all of its goals. And so this is what I believe you guys off. Thank you so much for watching. And this is what if Poland made an empire, starting from like here. They transformed themselves into the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, are now the unchallenged ruler of Eastern Europe, having influence in all of Eastern Europe combined. And they are ranked number 3 in terms of military might, only behind United States, China, and then it's Poland, Lithuania. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.